important to highlight what the capabilities are from a civilian perspective. And obviously we've become so used to it, but as you mentioned, GPS has been around for a long time. So how much has that history of what we've learned in GPS played into the kind of capabilities we're delivering today with 2F5?
The history of GPS has played a huge role in how GPS is today, and really, I mean, if we look at the design life of GPS, back in the 2A days in the 90s, the design life was about 8.5 years, and now the 2F design life is 12 years. And how do we get that confidence that we can reach that? It's because the robust engineering that is put into application, and the fact that the lessons learned from a previous program can be implemented on any future program. And actually the GPS-3 satellites are planned to have a 15-year design life, and using that same exact value all the way through.
Well, I know we've been proud to continue to launch those even from the early test GPS satellites back in the late 70s that flew on Atlas vehicles. So, Lieutenant, I really appreciate you taking the time to describe this for us tonight. And more importantly, thank you for your service to the country.
Of course. It's great to be here.
Thanks again. So this is Delta Mission Control. We're at T plus 19 minutes, 18 seconds into tonight's mission. The Delta IV launch vehicle carrying the 5th GPS-2F satellite lifted off from Space Launch Complex 37 at 8:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The mission is nearing the end of its first coast phase, and we're a few minutes away from the first restart of the RL-10 engine. Let's go back to Steve Agid.
Delta flight commentary, 20 minutes, 7 seconds in. Altitude at this point, 137 nautical miles. Velocity, 25,521 feet per second. And the downrange distance, 3,547 nautical miles. About 1 minute now remaining until the second burn of the second stage. That burn is expected to take a little bit over 3 minutes. We expect that burn to start about 40 seconds from now. About 20 seconds till the start of the burn. Passing 21 minutes into the flight. And we have igniter spark and ignition. Ignition on the second stage, chamber pressure building on the second stage engine. Good chamber pressure, right where we want it to be. Good engine control on the second stage. Good stable burn. About 2.5 minutes remaining on the burn. Chamber pressure holding very well.
This is Delta Mission Control at T plus 22 minutes, 24 seconds into tonight's mission. As Steve Agid just reported, the RL-10 engine has been restarted for the second of 3 planned burns. This burn will last just over 3 minutes. The mission continues to travel over the Atlantic Ocean and is located just south of the equator off the east coast of Brazil. Our next event, SECO 2, or the second cutoff of the RL-10B engine, will take place in a few minutes. As I mentioned at the top of the show, due to the length of tonight's mission, we'll end live coverage with confirmation of SECO 2. Let's go back to Steve Agid for our final call of the evening.
Mark, 23 minutes in. Good engine control in the second stage. Good chamber pressure. Less than a minute and a half left in the burn. At this time in the flight, our only data source is the TDRS spacecraft. And the data is good. 23 minutes, 30 seconds in, about 1 minute remaining in the burn. Coming up 24 minutes into the flight. Mark, 24 minutes in, altitude now of the vehicle, 132 nautical miles, velocity 30,854 feet per second, the downrange distance 4,503 nautical miles. About 25 seconds remaining in the burn. Chamber pressure holding right where we want it to be in the second stage. Standing by for SECO 2. And we have shutdown, SECO 2. "24 minutes, 50 seconds in.
This is Delta Mission Control at T plus 24 minutes, 59 seconds into tonight's flight. We've just heard confirmation of the successful second cutoff of the RL-10B engine. The Delta IV second stage and GPS 2F5 satellite continue flying in a southeasterly direction, located about midway between the east coast of Brazil and the west coast of Namibia. The mission is now in a nearly 3-hour coast phase, and all systems continue to operate nominally. This extended coast phase is followed by a brief third burn of the RL-10B engine, a third coast phase, and finally separation of the GPS 2F5 satellite. Separation is planned to occur approximately 3 hours and 30 minutes after liftoff. I'd like to thank Steve Agid for his support of this broadcast. I'd also like to thank Lieutenant Mark McCulloch from the United States Air Force Global Positioning Systems Directorate. Lieutenant McCulloch, it's been a pleasure having you participate in our broadcast tonight.
Thank you for having me here.
So we've just watched the launch, and for more information, you can visit our website at www.ulalaunch.com. We'll leave you with one more look at tonight's liftoff of the Delta IV carrying the GPS 2F5 satellite for the United States Air Force. I'm Matt Donovan, and on behalf of the entire launch team, thank you for joining us, and have a great evening. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have RS-68 engine ignition. 2, 1, and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the 5th GPS 2F satellite for the United States Air Force. The Global Positioning System provides worldwide positioning, navigation, and timing service for military and civilian users. You're hearing the voice of Steve Agid providing launch vehicle ascent data.
30 seconds in.